Hello and welcome to today's lesson where we're creating our first HTML file. So to create our HTML file, we need to first open our folder where we're going to be saving all our HTML files throughout this lesson. I already created a folder on desktop, that is it. And so I'm just going to come back to my text editor and just open the folder which I created. You will see this open folder here, so I'm just going to click on this. And if you don't see it, you can head over now to file and you see open folder. There's it. I'm just going to click on this and open my folder. Then I just navigate through to where my folder should be. So here's my folder. Music select folder. And you should see the interface is changing. So it will take some minutes. And to know if you successfully added a folder, you see the name of a folder here. And here's the name of my folder, front end web development tutorial. That means, so congratulations on your first success. You've successfully added your folder. Now to create our file, head over now to file again, and you're gonna see new file here, or you can just press Command N or Control N to create a new file, and let's just create our file. So it should bring out something like this, Untitled 1. For the browser to know this is an HTML file, we have to save this with the name of our file, .html. So to save a file, let's press Command or Command S if you're a Mac user and Control S if you're a Windows user, like what I'm using now. And it should bring out this. So file name. So let's save the file name. I'm gonna save it with index. You can save it wherever, but make sure to put this .html. So save. And the HTML logo. If you see this logo here, then you successfully created your HTML file. Now we successfully created our HTML file. Let's write some bit of code. And in the last lesson, where I explained the general rule of HTML tags, so let's apply it here. And let's just write hello world. Wow. Well, so we are correct and we are not correct. We are correct in the sense that it's better we have an opening tag and a closing tag, which is the general rule and the proper way of writing HTML tags. I explained this already in the previous lessons. If you haven't watched it, so do have to check it out. And we're wrong because we're now using the latest version of HTML5, and for a web browser to know you're using the latest version of HTML5, we have what we call HTML boilerplates. The latest version of HTML we now use is HTML5, and HTML5 comes with a boilerplate. It is an HTML, CSS, and JavaScript template for creating HTML5 websites with cross-browser compatibility. And HTML5 boilerplate helps you build fast, robust, and adaptable web app or site. So whenever we create our project, we have to put it first. And so like this doc type HTML, this declares the document type, which is HTML5. This doc type stands for document type HTML. So when you view it in the browser, it's going to tell the browser, hey browser, this file you're looking at is type of HTML5. So the browser understands. Then this HTML tag, it includes everything inside an HTML document. Can you see this title, body? They are all inside this HTML tag. So that's what we're going to write in all our tags throughout. Then we have the earth, and this element encloses the metadata of a document which will not be displayed on the main content of a web page. Yours, but then we have a title, and this element defines the title of a web page. It appears about of a browser. Then this is the body, and these elements includes elements like that's what we're gonna write in all array HTML elements or tags. Majorly, these where we're going to be writing it. So it includes all elements. So that's how these are the HTML boilerplate is. So let's over now to text editor to create our HTML boilerplate. Now we know what HTML boilerplates are. It's high time we added it to our current HTML file. And to her that, another good news is HTML comes with an abbreviation that's usually right, and it brings out the complete HTML5 boilerplate. So for that, let's clean this code here, and the abbreviation is doc. D-O-C. D-O-C. I'm just gonna press enter and it's gonna appear. So here is the boilerplate already made. And like I said while I was explaining it earlier, it contains the metadata, and these are the metadata with the title, and it's the HTML where all our tags are going into, and body. So these we're going to write in our tags. So let's write our H1 tag here. And okay, another thing to know is we have 6 types of H header, and that's it: H1, H2, up to H6. So let's try H1, H3, and H6. Let's see what they do. Right, welcome. Sorry. Then H3. Welcome again. Then H6, I guess. Yes, H6. And just try welcome. So now we've written our code, we need to view it in our browser. I'm going to head over now. Before we view in a browser, always take note, you always save your file. To save your file, you can come to File and just press Save, or you just use Ctrl S if you're using Windows and Command S if you're using Mac. And go to your folder, and this is my folder, Front-End Web Development Tutorial, and I'm just going to open it. And I see my folder. Since I saved this with index, that's why I also see index back. So I'm just gonna open it. Index. Wait for it to load. Okay, so it is successfully opened. And if you notice, okay, so this is how it is. And can you see welcome, welcome, welcome? And if you remember, the first welcome we made use of the H1 tag, and this was an H3 tag, and this is an H6 tag. That means from H1 to H6, you want to get a bigger tag, mix up the H1 tag because it's the biggest here, and H6 is the smallest. But let's leave that for now and just head over now back to our text editor. Sorry, coming. And okay, so we also have another type of tag, which is the paragraph tag or the P tag, and it's written like any normal tag. It has an opening and a closing tag. Yes. So then there's what we call lorem. This lorem is just like a bunch of words. It doesn't really make sense, but sometimes, especially when developers are building websites and they just want to add text to it, but they have no idea on what they want to add. So sometimes they just use this lorem to replace it. So let's just write LOREM. It's also an MS abbreviation, just like doc. So here, I'm gonna press it now, lorem. Enter. Cancel these long lines. And to make this shorten, add over to view and go to toggle wardrobe, or you can just use Alt Z. Toggle wardrobe. So can you see lorem, ipsum, dolotate, and let's can you see just a bunch of random text? Okay, so let's save and view in our browser. Sorry. It should be there. Just gonna refresh. Yes. So here is it. And we've written our first HTML code, which is the h word and the paragraph tag. So that's all for now.